Hi and welcome back. This lesson is going to be a really quick one. We're just going to cover two modal verbs in English, shall and should. Now, you don't hear shall used too much nowadays. That's sort of a word that was used maybe a generation ago, but you definitely will use and will hear the use of the word should on a daily basis, okay? So being that they're both modal verbs, the structure is subject plus shall or should and the base verb, okay? You could say something like, I shall call you, or we shall begin soon. And of course with should, you would hear you should study more or you should rest, okay? After shall and should, the base form of the verb stays the same, okay? She should go. You wouldn't say she should goes. We shall begin. You wouldn't say we shall begins, okay? You're going to hear words like, or phrases rather, like I should go. You should go. He should go. She should go. We should go. They should go. The verb after shall or should, it doesn't change, okay? And just to quickly cover the word shall, in modern English, shall is mostly used with words like I and we, especially in questions or suggestions or formal situations. Someone might say, shall I open the window? Or shall I help you? Or shall we begin? That's probably more common. Or shall we go now? In these questions, shall is used to make an offer or a suggestion. Okay, when I say, shall I help you, I am offering you help, okay? When I say, shall we begin, I am suggesting that we begin, okay? Shall I call you later? Shall I bring some coffee? Shall we meet tomorrow? Shall we start the lesson, okay? In everyday spoken English, these sentences, they sound polite and a little more formal than sort of regular dialogue that you might generally have. You may also hear the word shall in formal English, especially in legal writing, rules, or promises, okay? For example, a contract might say, the company shall provide the service, okay? This means that the company must provide that particular service. But for most everyday English learners, the most useful way to remember shall is in this way. Use shall with I and we when making offers or suggestions, okay? Shall I help you? Shall we go? Now, let's skip right to should. Should is much more common in everyday English. We use should to give advice, make recommendations, or say what is a good idea, okay? You should drink more water. You should study for the test. He should call his mother. They should leave early. We should practice every day. In these sentences, should means something is a good idea. It's advice, okay? Now, if you want to make a negative sentence with should, the negative form would be should not, okay? But as usual, we have a contraction for that. So should not is usually written or spoken as shouldn't, okay? Which is basically should and then N apostrophe T, okay? For example, you should not smoke would become you shouldn't smoke, okay? She shouldn't be late. He shouldn't drive so fast. They shouldn't forget their passports. We shouldn't waste time, okay? Now, if we want to make a question with should, the structure is should, then the subject, then the base verb, okay? Should I call him? Should she study tonight? Should we leave now? Should they wait here? We use these types of questions when we want advice or an opinion, because we're asking a question. For example, should I call him? This means, do you think it's a good idea to call him? You could say things like, should I take this job? Should we order food? Should they come with us? Should she see a doctor? Okay, and if we want to compare shall and should, you would use shall for offers and suggestions, usually with I and we. Okay, shall I help you? Shall we begin? And you use should for advice and recommendations. Okay, you should study more. She should rest. Okay, so just for a quick review, shall and should, they're both modal verbs. After shall and should, always use the base form of the verb. We don't change it. Use shall mostly for I and we for offers and suggestions, okay? And use should for advice and recommendations, okay? You should practice English every day. She should get more sleep. They should arrive early. Use shouldn't to say something is not a good idea. For example, you shouldn't be late. He shouldn't drive too fast. We shouldn't forget. Okay? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next lesson.